recording now. We also have some teachers here who have had our seniors in the past. So I'd like to introduce you to a few people. This is Maya. Maya is a senior, and Maya has been involved in lots of different things. She has played tennis. You watched her on the video. She is an SAT and ACT tutor. So not only does she do well on her SATs and ACTs, but she helps other people do well too. Is there anything else you want to add, Maya, that is an accomplishment of yours real fast?
I think they pretty much watched it all in the video, so
Okay.
no, not really.
All right, so I think she covered everything there. And then we have Miss Brianna Perez, and Brianna has been a cheerleader. She's been involved in cross country. She's also been involved in the art competition called VASE. And if you ever go to IHOP, she works as a host at IHOP too. And then we have Kayla. Kayla is also here too. She is a senior this year, graduating, and you got to see her video as well. And then we have Om. Om was also in the video. There he is. He looks like he's in San Francisco, but he's probably right here in Capel. And we also have Karthik. You have not gotten a chance to meet Karthik yet, but Karthik tells us a few things about himself, that he has been in a program called DECA, D-E-C-A, and that is business leadership, and they do competitions, and his group went to state one year, and he has also taught in a remote village in India before. Karthik, do you want to tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, sure. So I went to India during Christmas break of 2018, and we taught students, and my grade level was 8th grade. So we taught them for 2 weeks straight, and it was an interesting experience. I got to meet a lot of new people, and it was just a nice experience for me to learn more about the world.
That is very interesting. And I'll bet that village was very different than the type of school that we go to here in Texas. So that, I'm sure, was very interesting. Okay, we do have some students who are going to be asking you questions. And Aditri A, you can unmute. And you have a question to ask, and you're going to ask this to everybody, right?
Yes.
Okay.
What are your plans after you graduate?
So I'm going to be majoring in computer science, and I still haven't gotten all my decisions for college, so I'm still deciding on that, but majoring in computer science, I heard from college students, is kind of hard. It's a lot of work, but I'm hoping that I can pull it off and graduate in 4 years.
Hi, I'm Shaksi. I'm going to be majoring in finance. I'm going to UTD. I'm kind of excited for it. I'm not really a math person, but I'm interested in finance as like a whole major. So I think I might minor in accounting as well.
I can go next. Next year, I'm going to the University of Arkansas for college, and I'll be majoring in kinesiology and minoring in psychology, so that I can go into occupational therapy, which is very similar to physical therapy, if you all know what that is, but it's more focused on like rehabilitation for like your everyday life. So if like somebody gets in a car crash and hurts their hand, then I could be, if I'm like specializing in like the hand field, then I would be helping them do that and help with that in their life.
I'll go. Oh, Maya, go ahead.
Okay. So I'm also majoring in computer science and possibly minoring in business. And I have also not heard back from most of my colleges. But I do know that I got into A&M, so that's kind of one option.
I'll go next. My major is fashion marketing at UTD. Fashion marketing is basically just talking about like the fashion industry and why they chose the things they chose to put out in stores and kind of like the clothes distribution and everything.
All right. So actually, I'm trying to find you so I can pin your,
I'm right here.
all right, hang on. Sorry, I didn't know that you were there. Are you under, what's your name?
Shakshi Sharma.
S-A?
SH.
S-H. Okay, I'll find you. I got you. Okay, sorry about that. I didn't see you, and then I could not find you in the list. Okay, I am still letting people in the waiting room from the waiting room here. Okay, well, thank you all for sharing what you're doing after high school. So there is life after high school, and some of you still, we're going into February, may not know exactly what you're doing, but there's still a little bit of time left. Okay, Gatik, you have a question. What is your question?
So my question is, how important are grades?
Who wants to answer that? How important are grades?
Okay, I'll take that question. So, colleges do look at grades, and in high school, there's this thing called the top 10%, and it's basically based on a GPA, which averages all of your grades. And if you have a high enough GPA, then you'll be ranked in the top 10%. And whoever has the highest GPA out of all the students in your graduating class will be rank 1, and then the next highest will be rank 2, and so on. So right now I'm in the top 7%, and I'm pretty sure, yeah, that's it.
I think kind of going off of that, it does matter to some degree, but really it doesn't matter if you have like a 97 or a 92, something like that. It just really matters that you're doing well or you're trying. So I think it's a lot of times people tend to focus on the numbers where it's more about what you learn and if you can show that you learned it.
All right, anybody else want to answer that? We're good on grades? Okay, very good. So grades are important, but they're not everything. All right, who do we have? Tanrusi. Tanrusi has a question for you.
It's Tanushree, and my question is, when did you start thinking and planning for what you wanted to do after high school?
I can go first on that. I
Okay.
think I first decided that I wanted to go to UTD my freshman year. So that was in 2017. It was close by, and I knew what I wanted to major. I knew I wanted to go into finance. So I had already set that goal in my head. And I think it's just easier if you kind of know not a lot of people know what they want to do, even like as seniors right now. Some of my friends don't even know where they want to go right now. So it all depends on your own like way, I guess. If you feel confident in what you want to do in your freshman year or your sophomore year, then you go for it and stay with it, because that's what I did, and it really helped me out.
I'll go next on this one because it's easy for me to answer. I'm going to be honest and say that for the longest time, I never knew what I wanted to do. I didn't decide that I wanted to do fashion marketing actually until about 2 months ago. So it's pretty recent. I think that everyone is different with, what they decide to choose and do. And that's like totally okay. You don't have to decide like once you're a freshman in high school. Like, I know it kind of takes time and everybody is totally different.
I can also just say on that one, like, I think I'm sure a lot of you guys like have kind of an idea of like a dream job in your head. And I know like what I wanted to do in elementary school was like be a veterinarian or something. So it's good to always be thinking about them. But I think it wasn't until my senior year of high school that I actually figured out, okay, like this is what I really want to do. So you're going to go through like phases where you're like, I want to do this now and I want to do that. But it's always good to be thinking about, like where do I eventually want to go in life? What are my passions, you know?
Very good. So it's okay if our fourth and fifth graders don't already have in mind what they want to be when they grow up or what they want to do even after high school. There's still plenty of time. And like you said, even some seniors don't know exactly. And I'll tell you, even when I was in college, I changed a couple of times what my career was going to be. So it's never too late. Okay. Vishanvi has a question. Vishanvi, where are you?
It's Vaishnavi.
Vaishnavi, I'm sorry, Vaishnavi.
I mean, kind of already like answered it, but are grades the only thing that colleges look for when you apply?
I can go first, and that's a no. Just try to make sure that you are really well rounded in your high school, like extracurriculars, do everything, join a lot of clubs, make sure that your social meter is really high in high school. Because when colleges, because that's who they want to represent them. Like if they choose you, they want you to be like a very good student, very like well-rounded student for their own college. So in high school, join a lot of clubs, do yearbook, do sidekick, do a bunch of things, join sports, have a bunch of things ready in like your resume, do a bunch of things. So whenever you go ahead and put that in for colleges to see, they're going to like that because not only did you focus on grades, but you also tried to make sure that you like gave the school a chance and you were trying to work with it.
And like a very quick advice with that, it's really easy when like if you are joining all these things, which you should be doing, to kind of forget about them. So what I did that helped is just like open like a little notes in your app and just like write it in there. It doesn't have to be professional or anything, just something to keep track of like what you're doing it and from what time frame to what time frame you're doing it.
I'm gonna add on to that and say that I was kind of the opposite. I always wanted to do all these extracurricular activities, but I didn't because I was scared. And I know that's like kind of like nerve-wracking when going into high school. And I'm gonna be honest, I did feel, judged. And now being a senior, I did wish I was involved in all these curricular activities. So my advice would just be to do it. Even if you're scared, just do it. It doesn't really hurt to try new things, and you can make a lot of good friends and new memories.
That's a very good point, Brianna.
And I think I heard Kayla say the same thing too, that even though it might be something that's out of your comfort zone, go ahead and do it. That's very good advice.
Mhm.
Yeah, so one more thing is that you might want to start doing things outside of school so that colleges know that you have a sense of responsibility. For example, Maya said she was tutoring SAT and ACT, so that's obviously outside of school. And that also means that she has a job, and I'm pretty sure colleges like that you have a job. It shows us that you have a sense of responsibility.
I think another thing that's important to keep in mind too is that a lot of people do a bunch of different activities just for the sake of doing them, just for your resume. But it's also really important to do things that you actually like to do, because then you're more likely to stick with them and keep doing them throughout all 4 years, which is also showing that you're committed.
Mhm. Very good points.
Yeah, excellent. What about volunteering? So volunteering is when you do something, but you don't get paid for it. Do any of you all volunteer?
I used to actually volunteer for the DFW Temple. I used to go in usually in the weekends and just help out because they would always have something going on, and there would either be a puja, which is a prayer, or something would always just be going on. So I would go in and try to help out there. And then there's another temple near my house here, and I would go there as well. I also volunteered at the Valley Ranch Library. It's just a lot of places wherever you can try to find. Volunteering is really helpful for your resume, and also it also builds a lot of character because you see a lot of people, you talk to so many people, you get in a public area and you have to act right and do everything, and it just helps you a lot in the future.
And also, Shakshi mentioned earlier about like being well-rounded and how the colleges want to see that. And that's like a huge part of it because not only are you like doing the same kind of things you would be like working and actually making money, but you're doing it for the community and you're doing it for free. So especially if you can keep track of those hours that you're doing it and where you're doing it and when you're doing it, then like that's going to be a really, really, really great thing to put on your college resume and when you're like applying to places.
Very good. Very good. All right. Now we have Shreyas is going to ask a question. Shreyas, where are you?
So, did you change your mind about what career you wanted since you were in elementary school?
I can touch on that too. I probably changed my mind about 100 times. Like I went from so many different things because as you get older, you kind of like you start seeing the world more and you're like, oh, I like this. Now I like this. Now I don't like that anymore. And then you actually start getting into like, okay, if I like for me, like I wanted to be a vet and then I actually saw what veterinarians did and I was like, okay, I love animals, but I don't really like all the things that come with the job of being a vet. So like you're going to see the pros and cons to them and you're going to go through so many different, at least for me, I don't know about everybody, but like I said, I changed my mind so many times. And it wasn't until my very last year of high school that I settled down and I was like, okay, this is it. So it's okay. It's okay to switch up.
Anybody else want to talk about that? I think we talked about it a little bit earlier too, about how keeping your mind open to different things. Okay, I have a question from Miss Sanchez. Miss Sanchez, would you like to ask your question?
I would love to. Hi, everyone. It's good to see you. What about if you aren't sure if you want to go to college? Are there other options for our 4th and 5th graders for when they get out of high school?
Okay, I'll go first. Yes, if you don't want to go to college, obviously you don't have to go to college. College is an extra education that can help you with future jobs, but it's also not necessary. If you don't want to go to colleges, there you will find jobs that don't necessarily need that college diploma. Like even if you have a high school diploma, you can still also find jobs at a lot of other places. It all depends on you. Don't force yourself to try to learn something that you know in the future is not going to help you out.
I'll add on to her and say that after high school, it's totally okay if you don't want to go to college for like a little bit. Just take a 1-2 year break, just keep yourself afloat and focus on yourself because being in school a long time it gets a little rough sometimes. So
And just some like a small example that I actually was talking about with my manager at work yesterday. He didn't go to college. He went. So right now I work at Jimmy John's, or not Jimmy John's, Jersey Mike's, and he started when he was in high school, and the next step was him being a manager. So he worked for a couple years just at the regular level, and then after like I think 2 or 3 years, he got promoted to manager. And the next step for him, which it's now been 2 more years on that, is training managers. And then after a few more years go by, then he's going to be basically owning his own store, which means he doesn't even have to set foot in another Jersey Mike's. He just gets the profit from that. So there are so many other ways that like, especially if you like do what he's doing and you stick with something for a long time, that you can make money and not even, have to go to college and like put in as much like study and research into fields. If that's not for you, then it's not for you. Like there's other ways.
Very good. Good answers. Is there anybody else who wanted to touch on that? All right, we have Mr. Matthews who has a question about middle school.
Well, I sent the question because I didn't want to disturb, but they may have to think back. But in several months, in just a couple months, these guys are going to be going over to middle school, and that's going to be a pretty significant change. can you give any tips or advice, or what was your biggest challenge and how you overcame it going from here to there?
I would say, be friends with everyone. I would say like try to keep a good relationship with everyone. Try to be friendly with everyone. Right? Try to be friendly with everyone. Try to be friendly with your teachers as well. Try to make a really good impression because you're going to be there for the next 3 years, and you're also growing in those next 3 years. So everyone that you're going to be meeting in that time is people you're going to be friends with when you go to high school, because I went to Valley Ranch and then I went to middle school East, and then the friends that I had at East I'm still friends with now. So that's a really long time. Friends with that I saw in Valley Ranch I'm still friends with now. So make a good friendship with everyone, be close with everyone, so that whenever you're graduating you're going to look back and you're going to be like, wow, I really kept like my friendships from all these years. And it's also going to help you in the future. You just never know.
I think so. Also going into, oh, sorry, go ahead. Going into middle school, I think it's like kind of the first time you have choices in what kind of classes you want to take as well. So it's like time to explore, like go take an art class or music or get involved with athletics and sports. There's so much stuff for you to try now. And I think they've even added like engineering stuff or like creative writing or all these different things. So like that's your chance to kind of explore and see what you want to do before you get into high school.
Going off of what Maya said, it's extremely important to, like just try new things, see what works for you, and then also keep an open mind. I mean, sometimes things didn't work out for me the way I wanted. In elementary school, I always was dead set on getting all A's, but like sometimes that doesn't happen. And so I learned to accept it and learn what to do better next time. So it's all about facing these challenges head on with a positive attitude and knowing that it's the process, but you're gonna get successful and you're gonna reach the goals that you set for yourself.
I'll go next and say that in middle school, it is definitely a big change. I would just say be yourself. I feel like I always had to be a different person to fit in, and you don't have to do that. You don't have to like be friends with everybody. You could just have a small, like 2-3 person group, and that's like totally okay. Like, I always like to say that having a few friends is better than having so many friends, just because I feel like you're closer together and you can, yeah, you could just be closer together.
I would say just enjoy middle school because up till now I would say middle school is my favorite part because in 8th grade I stressed a lot about grades, but I didn't know that they didn't really matter. Of course, they matter in the sense that you have to pass your classes in order to move on to the next grade. But I would say really enjoy middle school.
It's good advice. Good advice. Okay. I think we have a class that might need to leave. That's okay if you have to do that, or a couple of other people who need to leave. I am recording this, so once this is finished recording, I'll upload it to YouTube and send you all the link so that you can finish watching it in case you have to leave. So we'll take just 2 more questions. Gatik actually has a good question. Even though this isn't one that we talked about, he's got a good question. Gatik, can you come back on?
Okay. So my parents always tell me that going to Ivy League will be a really good experience. But does it really matter which college you go to?
I'm really glad you asked that question. So when I was in elementary school, my mom used to say the same thing. And now, like looking at the world, I know so many people that graduated from community colleges and they're still successful. So I don't think it matters if you go to an Ivy League college. There's UTD is a great college. Sakshi's going there. I might go there too. So really matters what you do in college and not what college you go to, because there's also people that went to an Ivy League college and they're not as successful as people that went to not as well known colleges.
Yeah, it depends on what you can do, not what the college can do. Because any colleges will give you like education, will give you all this thing, like give you materials. It depends on you to learn it and depends on you to do something with it. So it doesn't matter where the place is, it just matters how you do with the information.
Yeah, going off what Om and Shoxy said, it also depends on like the roadmap that you have for yourself and you want the end goal for yourself to be. Like for me, I really see myself going into tech entrepreneurship. And so I want to go to a place that has a really good startup space, and a lot of colleges have that. And at the same time, I know that I can do the networking without college too. So ultimately, it just depends on yourself, what your goals are, what plan you see yourself working to get towards that. And everyone's path is different. You definitely do not need an Ivy League to attain a certain level of success. It all depends on you and your work ethic and how you take advantage of the resources given to you.
You all have really given some really great responses to that question. I am so proud to hear your responses, and I hope our fifth graders and fourth graders are learning a lot from that. So great response. But I'm not surprised because you're a Valley Ranch star. So not surprised.
See the greatness in you. Okay.
Yes.
Addison has a question. This will be our last question. Sorry. Addison, what's your question?
My question is, in third and fourth grade, I helped kids with special needs. I helped them, and I've also pet sat. Could I put that on my college resume?
Okay, I'm good with this one. I'm gonna go ahead and say yes. I'm in your position. I totally understand. Fourth and fifth grade, I loved, being friends with the SPED kids and helping them. And into the middle school, I really did that too. And now in high school, I also do help. I'm a teacher assistant for the SPED kids. I've been doing it all years of high school. I love them. I do. I would say go ahead and do it. Just do it. Go for it.
Okay, thank
There's
you.
no harm in doing it.
Yeah. I want to add on, I want to say if there's anything that you feel proud of, anything that you think that you did something great in, add it. Just go ahead and add it. It doesn't matter. Just add it. Because it's all about you. Okay? So add it.
Yeah. Also, one really good thing about resumes is that they're very flexible. Like when you start off with one, it definitely evolves as you have more experiences, and then you can decide for yourself what you want to keep and what you want to get rid of. But like they evolve, they change, and they reflect you as a person as you grow as well.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Those are excellent answers. And, I'm hearing a lot of the same messages over again. Don't be afraid to do some things that are out of your comfort zone. Just go for it. And things that are beyond grades. Okay. I said that we had 2 more questions, but these are a couple of really good ones. How many hours of sleep do you get at night?
I get anywhere between 6 to 8. I definitely have to work on my sleep schedule, but I'm really more of a night person because like that's when a lot of my creativity happens. But I definitely will advocate for sleep and that it's very important. So I'm working on that.
No, I agree. I'm a night person too. I think I get like 5 hours, but I'm trying. I know it's terrible, but I'm trying to get better at it.
I think, yeah, kind of the same thing. It's definitely something I think that changes as you get a little more into high school as an upperclassman. You're taking harder classes, there's more activities, jobs, work, and everything. And it just kind of, it keeps pushing your bedtime to like 12 and 1. And it shouldn't, but that's just kind of the reality of it. And it's just finding a way to balance everything.
I actually wanted to say something really quickly. So I work at Milana Dance, and one of the girls who goes there is actually in here, Cushy. I just saw her, and I just wanted to say hi because I haven't seen any Milana kids in so long. But I saw her in here, and I was like, "Oh my God, hi!" It was really funny. Okay, that's it.
Really? Sorry. really quick with what Maya said about balancing. I think that it's important to balance school and work. Any chance you get, just work on some homework, or if you have that 5 extra minutes, it really helps with you not having to do it later and stay up all late at night. I would definitely say take advantage of all the free time you have.
Very good.
So I wanted to give a quick example of getting enough rest. So last year, I had an English project with one other person, and he didn't do his part, so we stayed up until 5 a.m. And the next day, I was really sleepy in class, and I slept through 2 class periods. And luckily, I had friends in those classes, so I was able to get caught up. But I wouldn't recommend it because in case you don't have any friends in the classes you sleep through, then it won't go so well. So really get enough rest.
Excellent advice. We talk about if you don't get enough rest, you're going to be cranky and grumpy, and that front part of your brain is not going to be ready to learn. And we talk about that a lot. So I really appreciate you guys talking about that, because you are so busy with so many things that it is important to get your rest too. Well, we want to thank you all for being here. I am just so excited that you could spend an afternoon with our learners, and hopefully this brought a little bit of some bringing you down memory lane a little bit, coming back to visit with us. And we want to honor you in the spring before you graduate. So look for something to come at the end of April and May to do something fun with that. And I have been asked by the district to write up a little something. So we may get in the Capel magazine. You may see a little article about this. Excited. We wish you all well, and we'll see you again in the spring before you move on to your other things that you're going to be doing. So thank you all for coming so much. Boys and girls, you can come off a mute and you can say thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Goodbye.
Thank you.
Peace. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
And I didn't have a time to even say bye for a sec.
Yeah, we had some other kids who wanted to ask questions, but we just ran out of time.
Bye. Thank you. Miss Nelson.
Coach Gurry is still here.
Hi guys, I just wanted to say hi. I was a little bit late coming onto the Zoom, so Maya, Brianna, Kayla, Sweta, oh my gosh. I just want to give you a hug. Did I miss anybody? I just want to give you a hug.
Trying to find you.
You guys make me so, it's so good to see you. I just,
oh, there you are.
Aw. I feel it's really good to see everybody, and I'm so proud. You're so well spoken, so grown up. My goodness, y'all are so smart. I am just beyond proud and excited to see you guys. And it's so nice that every single one of us in here had a little part in in helping you become who you are. I mean, it was a little part, but still, I'd like to take a little credit for
Oh, I can't add, sorry, Miss Henderson, I can't add another spotlight. I was going to put you on there.
Okay.
But I guess this is the maximum number I can put on. And Miss Rendles was here too. She had to leave. She is teaching gardening at Capel Middle School West. And so she had a class right at 2:35, so she had to go. But we're just so glad you could be here. Thank you again so much.
This was wonderful. I watched the videos yesterday. Oh my goodness, they brought back wonderful memories, and it's so good to see you all.
And Doxy, you haven't changed at all.
I have. Hey, look, that was me. Do you remember that? That was 4th grade.
That what?
Oh my goodness.
With the short hair. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I have your picture here with the short hair. Like you can.
Oh my gosh, that's so cute.
And I'm gonna take.
And Brianna is so cute.
Hey, trying to find
Ayla,
you. Where are you? Wait, Miss
so
Henderson.
cute.
Wait. Keep it up there.
Okay.
There we go.
Oh my
You're
goodness.
so cute.
Oh.
I remember y'all.
And we'll
Y'all
make
haven't.
sure I bring all the yearbook pictures when we meet
Oh.
back in April or May.
I'm gonna start my 30-day free trial of fast.
Yearbook.
Yes, I cannot. Yeah, I have the 30-day free trial of fast.
Oh, thank you. All right, guys. Well, we're going to go ahead and go. We'll let you do what you need to do this afternoon. Thank you again so much.
Bye, everyone.
All right.
Bye.
good
I gotta close.
night.
Bye.
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 Bye. Bye. Bye. Congratulations, Master.